Hello!
Hey, hi. Hello from the Cotswolds again.
I had the lovely sunny Cotswolds. Has it been nice today?
Yeah, I think it's been the same temperature as Morocco.
Oh my god. Amazing.
27 degrees, baby. I've been topping up my tan.
Oh, it sounds like you've had a wonderful day.
What a day. I mean,
So,
I know I say that every day, but every day the Monarch's way has something new to take from me. Um, and today has been no exception. But,
well, well,
oh,
I mean,
it's just, it's been brilliant. Today has been brilliant.
I love
Absolutely
this. I
brilliant.
love it. So, let's take it from last night, when I called you last, because
Oh
it's
my God.
you stayed
Okay.
in a very, 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 very salubrious location.
No, I didn't. I stayed in a very nice cricket themed Airbnb called I don't know, let's call it Pictures Place. Oh my God, last night was mental. I mean, this doesn't normally happen, but because normally after I've had a call with you at this time of day, I then go on to have an amazing evening, smash out loads of miles, and not have any dramas. But unfortunately, last night after I spoke to you, shit got real. And I had some serious distance to cover to catch that checkpoint.
Yeah.
Um, what a lot of do-badders aren't aware of, because most of them communicate with sock puppets and crayons, is that they do. Let's be honest. The checkpoints have a cut-off time, and because I'm a do-badder and I want maximum bang for my buck, um, on the first day the cut-off time was when I left the first checkpoint. I
Yeah.
was only 3 hours ahead of the roundheads.
Yeah.
And all week I've either been somewhere between 3 and 5 hours ahead of the roundheads. So yesterday I lost a bit of time in the car park in
Oh yeah.
Morton in the while Lindley explained how ultra Lucifer needed being dealt with while he was slain. And so I then knew I was going to be pretty tight for time, and in fact I had to push hard
Oh really?
last night, and I mean hard. Alan and Chris are averaging sort of 2 miles per hour now. It's basically a death march to oblivion, and so I was doing 2.5 miles an hour. So I
Catching
know
them.
I know these aren't exciting speeds, but I can tell you, when you're 220 miles into a race, it's epic, epic
You're
stuff.
sprinting pretty much.
I've got this very weird thing where
We
my feet are
know.
just
We know you do.
don't be mean, where my feet are destroyed in a strange way, and I've not had this before. I've only had this once before. I did everything I could to make sure I didn't get blisters, and I've done everything I can to look after my feet on this race.
Yeah.
But what I didn't anticipate was just how wet my feet were going to get, and how they were going to stay wet and stay wet for 12, 13 hours at a time. And
Yeah.
the damage that's done that way means that your feet feel like they've been sandpapered.
Oh yeah. I can
Um,
imagine.
it's like they're on fire. It actually feels like someone's sitting there with a blowtorch and blowtorching them. And I was just walking along a minute ago on my own, because occasionally on this race you have a bit of time to think. And I was trying to understand how I got this wrong. And the answer is that when I recce'd most of this route, I did it in February and March and April,
Yeah.
when the crops weren't up.
Oh
Because
yeah. Of course.
I'm sitting here. I was sitting earlier in the pub having a pint, and I was thinking, why on the Easter weekend, on the Easter long weekend, I went to Worcester and unsupported went from Worcester all the way around to Stratford upon Avon quicker than I did it in the race. And I was thinking, well, maybe I was taking it easier, and then I thought there was no crops.
Yeah.
You just crossed the field. It was a doddle.
Yeah.
I don't know if I sent you a video today of me trying to cross an oilseed rape field,
Oh
but
no, I saw that. That was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, what? It was
it was
like you were hacking
it
your
was
way
higher
through a
than eye
bloody
height.
jungle.
Yeah, it was higher than eye height. So once you go into the field, you're trying to push it apart, push it down, but then you lose your line of sight, and you don't know where the fuck you are. And I'm not the tallest guy, so I'm sort of stuck. But there was that field was less than a mile from the checkpoint. and it nearly broke me. I mean, I literally nearly just had a total meltdown. I was just going to lie in the field and die there and give up.
Oh no!
But I got to the checkpoint at 10 a.m. No, I didn't. I got there just before 9 a.m. for an 11 a.m. cut-off.
Oh my God, is it that close?
Yeah, and I had to push all night. Go, go, go. So when I got tired and a bit wobbly, I would have to slam the bivvy bag out wherever the fuck I was, dive into it, sleep for 25, 30 minutes, get up and then smash again and go again. Like the cricket thing, I had a luxurious 1 hour sleep under the cricket thing. I really enjoyed the facilities there, you know, spent some good time.
So, so how much sleep have you had then in the last, say, 24 hours? Actually, don't do the maths. Don't do the maths. I put it down as not a lot, and you've been moving a bit fast. Well, I
haven't had a lot of sleep.
No, the pause there. The pause that you started doing the anti-Vorderman now, hasn't you? That's
I did. Oh, yeah, I did some major anti-Vorderman with a friend of mine on the phone earlier, just on the way into the CP, going, it can't be done. The maths. I'm 108 years old, and if I set off on a train from Swindon and it was moving towards London, then it just can't be done. And she's just going, I literally don't know what you're talking about, pal.
So you've had a few do-badders come and meet you. They answered the call, so that's amazing. So go on, talk us through this.
Well, like all forces of good, you can assemble Power Rangers and you can assemble do-badders. So you hold a sword of destiny, or in our case, a pint glass of destiny to your hand, and you decree the special cry, "Fuck you, buddy!" And then these people appear, you know, as if from nowhere to protect you.
Amazing.
And so I started the day with a tactical decision, and obviously having had no sleep, I was in absolutely the right place to make a tactical decision. And the decision was this. I've got to the checkpoint, it's 9 a.m. Sorry, I got to the checkpoint, it was 9 a.m.
Yeah.
The cut-off wasn't 11, sorry, it was 1 p.m.
Oh, right, okay.
But it's not. How much sleep do I have, given that I am completely battered and my feet are battered? Because every hour of sleep I have eats into the next day.
Yeah.
And means I've got less and less time to complete the next day before the next cut-off.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do. I was like, I could do 1 hour, 2 hours. You know, I could do. If you ask me how much sleep is the minimum I need at least really 3.
Yeah.
You know, 4 would be amazing, but 3 I could maybe. But 2, I ended up with 1 hour 15 sleep.
Really?
Left the checkpoint at 10:15, and my feet were just destroyed. This hot cold thing from them being. But as I left the CP going, this doesn't look good. I get a text message from Kev George going, I'm on the Monarch's way, where are you? And yeah, he came and met me, which was amazing.
Amazing.
He smashed out an epic 7 miles with me.
Oh, did he? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, over about 4 hours. And then he did a handover, a bit like, you know when an airline lets an underage person fly without their parents, they have to be after by an air steward. So he did a handover with Inky Ann. So somewhere near the outskirts of Cirencester, it was like, okay, so the patient is presenting with itchy feet. He's also very tired. We're finding port scratchings are working, and don't mention Ultra Lucifer. And so he did a handover, which was great. He then ran back, which probably took him 40 minutes to get back to where he started.
Yeah.
Again, classic do-badder. I love how prepared do-badders are. Kev had no GPS on him, fuck all. So he was just sort of winging it on the Monarch's way, and it's just not the place to be winging it. But he was clever enough that every 20 minutes when we changed direction, he would turn around and take a photo in the other direction, so he could follow the pictures back.
That is prepared. Bloody hell.
That's like a do-badder Hansel and Gretel.
That's I was going to say, he's going to leave breadcrumbs or bottles of Brewdog or shreds from from Marathon Man. Wow.
I think it would probably be used packets of Benson and Hedges and condom wrap.
Yeah. So then Anne met you. Amazing.
Yes. So she met me, and she did something a woman has done. She did a thing, and it was the most amazing thing a woman's ever done to me.
Explain.
I explained to her that my feet were literally on fire, and they hurt so badly. And I messaged a friend of mine who's an A&E doctor and said, I'm after something that can kill the pain of this. My feet aren't broken. The skin isn't broken, so it's not blistered issue. But I need something that numbs my feet, basically. Yeah. What would a pharmacy sell that doesn't need a prescription? And so she came back with me saying, get something with lidocaine or landocaine in it. So I was like, genius. So I messaged Inky Ann when I knew she was coming and said, see if you can pick something up with this product in it, which she bought. Yeah. And she proceeded to apply it to my feet and give my feet a little massage. And it was the most incredible thing that's happened to me in days.
Did she tell you not to mention that to anyone?
Probably.
Did she tell you what this got? Why? How come even in the midst of all this, you have to end up doing something sinister like that?
It was medicinal, and there wasn't eye contact.
Oh my goodness! And how did it feel? Did it feel like you had a new lease of life?
It was amazing. And then some other dude turned up who is a do-badder but just doesn't.
I saw the picture.
He's got a what's the hot run the Americans do? What's it called? Fat Hot 100. What's it called?
Western States 100.
That's it. I always imagine it's a rodeo, but apparently it's a race.
Oh no, wait a minute. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Badwater?
I don't know.
Wait, the one in Death Valley.
That sounds like a 70s band that the Eagles were in. No, I think it was the first one. What's the first one called?
Western States.
Hoedown. Yeah, the Hoedown 100. So he's got an ultra Hoedown 100 cap on and a local beer festival polo shirt. I'm like, I'm looking at him going, Christ, this has happened again. You know the theory that the person that milkshaked you was you from the future?
Yes.
I think I met David Hellard from the future today.
Yes. No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be because he's wearing an ultra cap. He'd never identify in an ultra cap, would he?
Oh, he'd stolen it off somebody. It's David Hellard.
Yeah.
No. So I reckon I met David Hellard from the future. He knew where I was, and he knew an awful lot about me, even though I'd not met him.
Oh, that's amazing. And how did he know? How did he know about you?
I don't know. I don't know. Nothing makes sense anymore.
I suppose you're not in a position to question. Like, when you see these people, do you just start up a conversation with them as though you've just known them for ages? Like, you literally just...
Well, yeah, because they know loads about me. They're like, oh, I hear you slept out in a cricket thing. I was last night when I sent the picture of the cricket thing. I was going to say that I was in the town. Do you know what town? Do you know what the name of the village was that I slept in that cricket Airbnb?
Was it Little Utter Bastard?
Slaughter.
That's amazing.
Slept in the dark on an abandoned, misty cricket pitch in a village called Slaughter.
Amazing. And so you've had some good company. So has that helped in any way? Because is that the most company that you've had? The most that you've
yeah.
All right. And has that made it?
Been baking all day.
Right.
And it's come at a very significant time.
Right.
This is the bombshell. Mm. I did the maths at the CP when I left the CP this morning. Yeah. And I knew the state that my feet were in. As we're talking now, I'm approaching 250 miles.
Right.
That I've done.
Nearly a third of the way through.
Exactly. I'm currently doing 1.8 miles an hour to 2 miles an hour if I work really hard. Yeah. We had a day where it was super hot again. I left the CP this morning fairly convinced there was no way I was going to make the next CP. Right. And that wasn't Vorderman. That was after an hour and a bit sleep. So I was thinking completely clearly again. Yeah. So the bombshell is I'm not going to pull this off.
What?
I'm not going to pull this off.
What, you mean you're not going to make it to the next CP in time?
No, I don't believe that I am. And even if I vaguely got there an hour or two late, I would suspect that Lindley would be nice enough to give me some leeway and keep an eye on it and say, don't take the piss tomorrow, turn up to school on time, but, carry on for another day. But even if I jam it tonight, by tomorrow at 1 o'clock or 2 p.m. tomorrow, there's no way I'll stay in a day afterwards. I just, when you know. And so what I did, it's good.
I want to know, of course, it's good. But this is. I mean, I don't want to. You obviously know what's best for you. And I wouldn't
Don't
want
you
to.
say you don't want this to end? You've said from the start how bored you've been with this.
Oh, I'd be even more bored if I didn't. Well, to be honest, I'm going away for a couple of days at the weekend, so I
There you
wouldn't be able
go.
to talk to you
Yeah.
anyway. But,
And then there's beer lovers. So who cares? So let me walk you through what's happened, and then hopefully I can make it make sense. And
right.
obviously it's now the evening. I'm still pushing on. I'm still working hard towards that CP.
Yeah.
But what would have happened, and what happened with me in the past in other races, is I would have looked at that CP cut-off. I would have said, this is the biggest distance between CPs so far. I've got 46 miles on this one. I am battered. I've done 220 odd miles already.
Yeah.
It's tight, to say the least. What most people would probably do is just drop out and say, look, I've had a miserable night, I'm battered, it's not going to happen. But what I did was I took control for myself today, and I left that CP knowing I wasn't going to make it.
So
does that make it?
okay. No. I totally understand. I mean, like you. All right. Under what circumstances?
Yep.
Would you carry on?
I am not dropping out of this race.
Right. Okay.
If I get DQ'd because I miss a checkpoint time,
okay,
I've been
that's
removed.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I made a decision with myself when I put myself into this race that I would not drop. If you look at my movement today, I've still been pushing at 2 miles an hour. I have taken the piss a little bit this evening and gone to the pub for 45 minutes to an hour, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I decided if I get disqualified because I'm cut out, that's fine. It means I've done the best I can, and I kept going, and I did everything I could, and I just kept going.
Why don't you Why don't you just cut off bits of the course? Because
that's a separate topic, and it ties in with the decision for what I did today, because I don't want to focus on what's going on with them anymore.
Yeah.
Partly because of Ultra Lucifer, but partly because they're taking the piss so badly now, it's not even worth talking about. And actually, it's upsetting me because those two are incredible runners.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. So, but I don't want to talk about that aspect because that's not the reason I'm dropping out.
Let's talk about the pub.
Let's
talk about the pub. Let's go back to some proper do-babbledom.
So I hope it makes some sense when I say the easy option was to stay sat in that tent this morning, eat sausages and go, I've just run 220 miles, fuck all of you, I'm badass, and I'm going to bed for the afternoon, and that's it. But instead I left the CP because I remained in control. It was still my race, and I was continuing with that race on my terms.
Yeah.
And I was kind of, so I'm not sure I convey this quite right, but that's how it's gone in my head. It's easy to carry on and sit in that tent and give up. It's much harder to go, I've got 46 miles, I probably won't make it, I'm going out anyway. And the reason I justified myself and motivated myself was I said, if you can't walk out of this CP today with a 10-kilo rucksack on, knowing it's going to be 27 Celsius and you're battered, you should not be applying for Barkley Marathons.
Yeah.
You haven't got what it takes. Yeah? Because if I want to do Barkley, if I want to do a fun run or whatever, you've got to go out there. You've got to actually do it. You can't just lie and cry like the human sacrifice every year. Some people have actually got to get out there and get moving. So the moment I'd made the decision to say, I'm probably not going to make it, but I'm going to carry on anyway, and I'm going to push quite hard, this incredibly cool calm came over me. Because I was just going to enjoy this last day. And if I made it to the CP in time, then I'll carry on the next day. But I thought, let's say goodbye with style. Let's do this with some panache. Let's enjoy it. And it just coincided with being visited by a few do-badders, some people, being in a fantastic location. And I have had a brilliant day. It's been brilliant. My has been slow, but it's been amazing. We got to Cirencester and we were looking to grab a bite to eat, and I was like, let's go to the pub. Let's go use cutlery. I haven't done that since Friday. It was brilliant,
Yeah.
in the pub feet in a bowl of ice, trying to get my feet.
Yeah, I suppose you need those. You need those elements to keep you to just bring your spirits back up and everything. But yeah, well, I don't know. You need to do what you need to do. You need to think about it the way you need to think about it. And if, like you say, you get to the checkpoint and you've not been knocked out, then do it.
Keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, just work it the way you need to work it. You just need to do whatever your mind allows you to do now. Whatever you need to do to calm Lucifer. And that's it.
And retain control of this race in myself, and leave with some dignity, and not be the completely beaten bloke sat in a tent crying, or to leave like a do-badder would. How does a do-badder? Well, no, they don't. They DNS. They didn't show up in the first place. But,
exactly. I know they.
And so that's been my day, and hopefully I can. The whole point of all week, Riley, like you and me talking on the phone, is I hope that what people have listened to, I hope that I've at least inspired one do-badder to never do an ultra.
I was about to say you've inspired them never to do the Monarchs. No, don't go near the Monarchs. Don't do anything about the Monarchs. Never do an ultra. Never do 100. Just don't bother.
Stay at home.
Just go to the pub.
Drink a brew dog. Do the do-badder running things. So the message all week has been this: ultras are shit. All of them.
They are.
They are a nightmare. They are hell. They will expose your character flaws.
Well, I like
uninteresting places in the country you don't want to be. Go.
I feel the same about it while I'm running them as well. You're still effectively running it. All you need to do is cross that finish line, and it'll all change. You'll be like, Monarch's Way is the greatest thing ever.
I still stand by my statement that the Monarch's Way is totally impossible or totally doable, depending on which hour you ask me. I guess if we were doing a post-mortem, there's not a lot I would change.
We're not doing a post-mortem yet. We're not doing the post-mortem. Stop prefiguring. We're not doing post-mortems. You haven't finished yet. No post-mortem.
In the race.
You're not doing a post-mortem. Stop it.
Right. Sorry.
We'll run out of stuff to say. All right. The thing is, I've had
a cracking day.
Great. I don't want to leave you on a low here, but I have to just point out I've got to go because I've just had the Dominoes delivered.
Is it the meat feast I haven't delivered to your house last night? In your head.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to do that to you. That is a cruel and unusual punishment to do. But
sorry, you can't hear me properly. I'm too busy eating a Domino's pizza.
All right, man. Well, you sound like you're in good spirit. You push on to that next CP and you tame Lucifer.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll still be catching up with you tomorrow. I'm absolutely sure. But
yeah, I'm going to keep moving. I've got till.
Hello.
2 looks or how behind I get or ahead. Even if I get behind, I'm going to keep moving.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. All right, man.
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry eating my Dominoes. Sorry, man. All right then. Good luck tonight. Have a good sleep, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Yeah, go on then. All right.
Bye.